Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching The Political Vigilante. That's truth. It's coming up from underneath Wayne Manor, somewhere in the outskirts of Gotham City. We talk a lot about climate change on this show, and we talk about rising sea levels and how it's going to impact places like Florida. And this new report, the new global report that just came out, Florida is already seeing climate change. New global report says it could worsen. The nearly 2,000-page report had a global focus, but Florida was repeatedly used as an example of a place where the impacts of climate change were already being felt, both economically and environmentally. Climate change has already changed places like Florida permanently and irreversibly. This is in the report. They're like, oh, it's irreversible in Florida. Nobody's scared or alarmed. We still have a chance to reverse this. No? Just want to keep pumping money into Ukraine and NATO and war. And okay, great. It's affecting coral reefs, leading to higher property values and increasing inequality for vulnerable populations in the state. Tidal flooding worsened by sea rise has led to almost $500 million in lost real estate value from 2005 to 2016 in Miami-Dade County alone. That's just South Florida. There's a lot of nice beachfront property and real estate all up and down both coasts in Florida, the Gulf side and the Atlantic side. What $500 million just in Miami-Dade County in a 11-year stretch? What's Fort Lauderdale? What's Tampa? What's Jacksonville? What's all that? Those are all coastal cities. Pensacola, they're all coastal cities. That's pretty alarming. Miami-Dade's effort to raise roads and build stormwater pumps have raised property values, leading to inequality for vulnerable populations. Floridians could be forced to retreat from the coast as sea levels rise. Florida's coral reefs are bleaching and drying as temperatures rise. As coral reefs die, Florida could lose up to $55 billion in reef-related tourism money by 2100. Harmful algal blooms along Florida's west coast, spurred by climate change, led to massive economic losses. The fishermen, the fisher boats, right? That's a big business in Florida. Charter fishing boats, gone. Snorkel boat tours, all that stuff, can't do it if there's nothing there. I've talked about rising. I've done numerous videos on how Florida is the canary in the coal mine because it's low-lying. All the coasts are going to be affected, but Florida is going to be affected first. I've talked about they have plans to, people are going to have to potentially evacuate Florida. Attempts to fix the problem by installing new stormwater pumps and raising roads and buildings may have actually made inequality worse by rising property values in Miami-Dade. There's a neighborhood that's on high ground that they've now just pushed out. Gentrified. The wealthy people are just going to buy up all the if you live in high ground, the wealthy people are going to come buy you out. That's insane. So you think you're going to have beachfront property in 10 years when Miami's underwater? Like, what are you doing? That building that collapsed a year or so ago? It was because rising sea levels deteriorated the foundation. And so now the city's come in and done all these special assessments on all these condos and buildings and everything like that, which is, again, raising the cost, raising the homeowners' dues, raising the rents on people. Still might not be enough. I've told you on this show, we did a video on how they were, they hired the Army Corps of Engineers was going to build a seawall, and then they realized, oh, that won't work. Because Florida, I believe, is like limestone, so the water will just seep up through it. You can't block it. Oh, Jesus. It was one of the global report's key examples of maladaptation when efforts to address climate change backfire by raising greenhouse gas emissions or making life harder for vulnerable people. This is in the Miami Herald, by the way. The newspaper that's done a lot of excellent reporting exposing Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell and all the people related to that. This is the Miami Herald. Put this out there. Florida gets another $404 million for climate change prep. It needs billions more. This is February 1st of this year. This is, again, another article in the Miami Herald. We're going to need billions of dollars to fight climate change. So I'm sorry. When the democratically controlled Congress approves a $768 billion war budget that then the democratically controlled Senate gives an additional $10 billion for. So we always got money for war, but climate change, I don't know. It's going to be too late. Climate change deniers, they're going to be like the crazy people dying of COVID saying, I'm not dying of COVID. And the doctor's like, you're dying of COVID. No, I'm not. And they flatline and die. All those people in the Herman Cain Awards on Reddit, that's what the climate change deniers are going to have. They're going to have their own Reddit page, only we're all going to die as a result of it. So when you think the Democratic Party is so much better than the Republicans and they just keep funding war, for the last 20 years, both parties have been greenlighting every military budget increase. Every year, the president gets a bigger budget. Biden's budgets are bigger than Trump's. Trump's are bigger than Obama's. Obama's are bigger than Bush's. So we got all this money for that, for war. We got the $3.5 trillion we wasted in Afghanistan. And all these military defense industry companies, the military industrial complex, basically, Raytheon, Boeing, Northrop Grumman, all of them. What if they were spending all their money and resources and all the scientists and the big brains they got over there, all the research, rather than like finding better ways to kill human beings, mainly more efficient ways to kill poor people so that oil companies can keep having profits and America can continue its dominance? What if they spent all that time and money on green energy? You know, they could do it. You know, if they just switched overnight, they'd be like, oh yeah, we figured out these lasers that can, whatever. We found this technology. And I've done video after video after video after video showing all this technology that's already out there. There's people doing great work on reef restoration. There's people, taking algae that pulls CO2s out of the air. The alvaria, the mineral that if you put on the beaches pulls the CO2 out of the air and buries it under the ocean in a matter of a couple of years, a process that naturally occurs in like 1,000 years. There's all this stuff happening out there, but we need to spend billions of dollars on it. Rather than trillions of dollars for wars and bailouts for Wall Street, why do we do it to, I don't know, save the human race from extinction, from climate collapse? The Miami Herald just put this report. You can say this report's nonsense or the Miami Herald's a liberal rag or whatever. You can make whatever thing you want. It's coming. It's coming. You don't think it's coming? Go buy some beachfront property in Florida and just tell me how that goes. We always got money for war, but we don't have money to save our own planet. It's a form of insanity. The people that run the world, the 1%, the ruling elites, they're insane. They're crazy people. They're not the smartest people in the world. They're just evil and greedy and just self and short-sighted. They don't care. All right. So when Florida's underwater, what are they going to do? When they have to start evacuating Florida, who are they going to blame? They'll just blame whatever party is in the White House. They'll blame that party, or whatever party used to control the White House. They'll blame that. Isn't the two-party system great? All right, Florida, you're like a purple state. You go red, you go blue, whatever. It doesn't matter. I mean, the Republicans flat out deny climate because they're paid heavily by the oil industry. The Democrats, that are paid pretty well by the oil and military industrial complex, say they care about climate, but barely do anything about it. The Republicans will just say, there's no climate change. We're not evacuating Florida. And the Democrats will just send buckets to just pull the water out. And that'll be their big solution. Meanwhile, Republicans and Democrats will just be bombing the shit out of poor countries and fueling wars like this, America pushing Ukraine and Russia into a war because we just want more NATO troops because it's good for the military industrial complex. Follow the money, connect the dots, guys, get the truth. Or watch Fox or MSNBC and just listen to bullshit. I don't know. It's up to you. Do what you want. Florida's going underwater. Good luck. Shave your knuckles for justice. Boom. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. We are still in our 9th month of demonetization from YouTube. So support what we're doing at patreon.com/Graham Elwood or rockfin.com/Graham Elwood, which is a blockchain cryptocurrency platform. It's free to sign up, and there's a premium level at $10 a month. And for that, you get everybody on the platform's premium content. Myself, Lee Camp, Ron Placone, Jimmy Dore, Whitney Webb, Kim Iverson, Abby Martin, and many, many others. You can also support what we're doing at Venmo at Graham-Elwood and go to GrahamElwood.com. We have a PayPal button and a PO box. I also have crypto wallets, which are all in the show notes. Thanks for supporting what we do.